The state of Sanukis. Well, Sanukis is there's no state of Sanukis. If you're talking about what is claimed to be Sanukis, is different than what Sanukis is. Sanukis is Dr. Moses Powell. Dr. Moses Powell has not changed anything. You know, he is what he is. He's done what he's done, and he's left whom he's left. Now, as far as if you're talking about Sanukis as there are persons who have established, you know, themselves as representatives of Sanukis. And you know, they claim various things, you know, but I would say the system of Sanukis right now, with respect to the students that are here, has there are differences and there is division. Well, the division is ignorant, because what we should be doing is unifying ourselves more so than dividing ourselves. But the division is coming from merely the lack of wanting to respect the lineage of those who practiced and studied. I mean, you know, this is just what it is. You know, they don't want to respect Soke for being the principal person, just like they didn't, those who studied under Grand Professor V didn't want to respect Doc for being the premium person that came from under Grand Professor V. This is not new. It's not new. This is not new. This is you know, something. This is the same history that had happened before, even up to the point that before Doc passed. I mean, there are those who want to look at Doc as though he's really not a student of Grand Professor V. But that's only their opinion. Grand Professor V told me personally. He said, I'm like a father that have many children that don't get along with each other, but they all get along with me. So the question is, would Grand Professor V say that Doc is not his student? He doesn't teach Sanukis. Would he do that? You know. So when it comes to Soke, you know, there has been issues in families. You know, fathers and sons. You know, brothers and sisters. You know, you got problems and issues. But the thing is, I always look at, you know, when you look at Soke and you ask the question, about whether or not you know, when I talk about Soke being, as far as lineage is concerned, and you look at Soke and there being history that is bad, you know, history that is bad, you'll find that the history, or when something is desired, like if Doc wants something to do, if he wants, you know, some serious activity or some real training going on, I mean, and Soke's around, he calls Soke. It'll be Soke, because Soke is the best representative of what Doc has done, you know, and he's his greatest student, you know, as far as reputation, experience, because no one of them will come up against Soke in truth, and whether they win or not, but they wouldn't even, you know, be able to do anything. You understand?
Let me ask you this. For those naysayers that say Soke Lojan Davis is not a Sanukis rule Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, what would you say to that?
Well, again, I say that it's a foolish and ignorant statement, and it's only stated by those who are haters, or not so much even just to say haters. I'll say that they are if you love the art, and you're totally based on your love for the art, and you look at Soke, when you look at Doc, okay, do you see Grand Professor V? Is he involved, or has Doc left Grand Professor V as though he never existed? Doc put together many things like Grand Professor. This is the way. See, if you study the way, when you look at Grand Professor V and you've heard how he said that he went from this instructor to that instructor, and still in the later years he studied under various people. He said, I'll study just a little bit. And even in studying just a little, he gets the basic concept and then he can move on. So he studied many things which made him who he was. Doc did the same thing. Aikido over in Chicago. This one, he studies various things and he put all of that together, and his base is Grand Professor V or the Jujitsu Te, and on top of that he builds himself and he produces a whole another reality. And what you do is, these are masters that study, and then you take what you have been given and you rise up so that you can go beyond. When we say beyond your teacher, you're just being put on the shoulders of your teacher. You understand? And you're not better than your teacher, but you're supposed to. Every father wants his son to be better than him. Do we only want our children to be like us? I've done all of this basic stuff, so why can't you now step and take what I have done and be better in what it is that you do? So that's how I see it.
Let me answer this. It was said in an interview that very shortly that it was said that Doc asked you to take the S out of the SK.
Not the case. Doc has never told me anything like that, ever. As far as Doc ever asking me or telling me to take the S out of VSK is simply a lie. He never told me that. Never. I mean, if Doc said anything like that, he may have said it to someone else, but he never said anything like that to me, ever. That's point blank.
Do you have an idea of how the bridge can be gapped between the two different factions?
Well, I mean, it's really very simple. Lower your ego. Open up to be, to use. I mean, if we are saying that Doc is who he is, then he is that, regardless to what anyone says. Let's bring people together more so than separating them. With that, we're going to be fine. But as long as you're trying to separate, if you're separating because you really believe that someone should not be a part of it, see, because the thing is, I don't care if someone who hates me is involved, because it's all about the student. It's not about me or the individual. It's about the student. Will the student benefit from what we teach? We will bring people into a seminar that have nothing to do with Sanukis and teach your students, but you are trying to keep those who have been taught by Doc for many years, keep them away. It's ignorant.
Thank you, John.
All right, you're welcome.